Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Excel VBA tutorials. Today we're going to be talking about subroutines and passing parameters by value and by reference. Okay, so load Excel, press Alt and F11, get your code editor up, right click in your VBA project window and select Insert Module. Okay, then type option. This option explicit isn't compulsory, by the way. I do recommend it though. So it's a simple type check. So if you make any type of graphical errors or anything, it'll highlight it in red and beep at you. One thing I'm going to do actually before I type this in, waste my time, I just want to explain that if you go to your tools and your options menu, you can select require variable declaration up here, and then what that'll do is click OK. When you get rid of this module, and you'll see remove module. Do you want to export module? No. Okay, now when we right click and we go to insert module, it automatically puts option explicit in for you, so it just saves you a bit of finger work. The other thing you can do, if you notice, if you make a typo, for example, computer complains, get a message, computer complains, and then it pops this message box up, which is very annoying. So again, you can go tools, options, and then in your options window, where you've got auto syntax check, disable that. Okay. Auto indent, by the way, is quite useful. That's just the tab width. So for example, when you tab indent in your code, you can make it 468, so you could change the tab width at your leisure. Okay, so now if I type in a typo and hit enter, it just goes red, doesn't actually scream at me. Okay, so type first subroutine, sub, and we'll call this one main. And then what we're going to be doing is passing parameter to our test subroutine. So we're going to call this one test, sub test proc. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we need to put our expression in here. So by default, subroutines pass values by what's called a reference, which is the location that the parameter you're passing is stored at. And if you want to pass the value, you have to override the default by typing in BYVAL. As so, and then you type in your expression, we'll call it enemy, and then we'll say it is a string as string. Okay, now what this actually means is when the string comes in, it's an actual string and it's not a location of a string, which basically means if you change the string within your procedure here, it doesn't change the string up here in your main procedure. Okay, and we'll demonstrate that in a minute. So what we want to do when we come into this is we want to display on the screen in a message box our string. Okay, so that is a system procedure called MSG BOX for message box. Open a parentheses, and then we'll type in enemy and then close parentheses. Okay, and that'll display this string. Open our main window. We need to declare a string, so we're going to say dime str a string. Okay, and then we need to assign a string to str equals quotes hi there quotes, and then we need to call our procedure test proc. Okay, then we can open up a space, and you can see here in this pop-up tag that it's expecting a value, an enemy, and it's a string type. So that's a handy little prompt. So in here you type in str, and that's it. So when you run this now, you get a message. And if you want to step through it, debug wise, you can select either a breakpoint by clicking in this little grey area down the left hand side of the screen to set a breakpoint, and then hitting run, and it'll stop at the breakpoint, and then you can press F8 and it will allow you to step through. Okay, and if you right click str and go add watch, type the watch in, click OK, you see down here that it adds str or enemy, depending on which one you right clicked, because I did it earlier on, I right clicked enemy and I added it as a watch. Okay, basically means as you step through you can watch these change in real time. Okay, so again, click in main, hit run. Okay, string, which is the first thing we've created, is empty. Press F8. String now equals hi there. Enemy is not assigned yet and it's out of context because we've not gone into that function. Okay, but we will in a minute. We press F8 and we've gone into that function. At the moment, enemy contains nothing. Okay, step into the function and hi there's been passed into it, and then display the message box. Okay, so we'll stop that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to demonstrate is the BYREF. Okay, so we enter ref, and what that actually means now is we're going to be pointing, rather than passing the actual string into our procedure, we are going to be passing a reference to the string. Okay, so when we display our message box, we are displaying the string that our reference is referencing. Okay, slightly different to the by value, whereas by value actually passed the string itself and not a reference to the string. Okay, so what I'll do is I can pop up a little paint diagram to show you how that is actually working. So for example, here's a location in memory. Okay, and inside the memory is our string. Okay, and this memory location is, I don't know, 100. Okay, so when we actually cast call our procedure, we actually pass string as a value into our procedure. Okay, so this now contains string. Okay, and then we go down and we do our message box. Okay. Oh, sorry, writing this with a mouse. Message box, and that displays our string. Okay, now with reference, what we're actually doing is moving this here, this box, the reference, okay, to that string into our function. Okay, so it doesn't actually, our parameter in here it no longer holds the actual value string. It actually holds this, the location, the memory location, this thing here. Okay, but what you have to remember is that inside this memory location is our string still. Okay, so the string's still over here in memory. We've just passed the address, the number 100 over here. Okay, so now when we type message box, okay, we're saying display the contents of this memory location, which is subtly different than the value. Okay, what that actually means though is that now, okay, with that 100 location, if we change the text in here to txt, it's actually changing the text to txt up here. So that string now becomes txt. Okay, so to see that, we'll code it up and we'll step through it, and you'll see it in action. So BYREF, remember this has got the container in it, the reference to the string. Okay, so the string is still up here. If we run that now, let's put a breakbox down here, breakpoint, hit play, run. Hi there is in str, hi there is in NME. Okay, which you would kind of expect. I know you're thinking, well, why don't I see the actual address? Well, because it actually passes the address, but it's actually, message box won't actually pass the address. It'll actually pass the contents of where the address is pointing to. Okay, so as far as it appears, nothing's changed. Okay, however, now if we add a new line in our procedure, and we'll say that enemy is equal to quotes. What should we type in there? Hello, quotes, and then we run it. Okay, as before. F10. Sorry, F8. Enemy still contains hi there. Okay, and it's popped up in the message box. However, now when we assign hello to enemy, bosh, you'll see down here in our watch window, did you see str actually change to hello from hi there, as does enemy, okay, which is proof that we actually moved the reference of str into our subroutine, changed the contents of str, the reference, okay, so everything went to hello. I'll run that again so you can see, okay, so let's put a breakpoint up here, hit play, run, okay, so at the moment F8 str is equal to hi there, okay, call our procedure, and now enemy is equal to hi there, display it using the message box, okay, and then move the word hello into the location that enemy is referencing, okay, F8 and down here, okay, you can see it's actually changed to hello. Okay, so if we stop that, and if we go into our calling procedure, and then here we'll type message box, and we'll type str, and you'll see without a shadow of doubt that str has actually changed. Okay, so we'll hit play again, F8, F8, go into our procedure, F8, look down here, hi there, F8, message box, click OK, enemy, now look down here, hi there, press F8, hello, hello, go back to the calling routine, okay, str now equals hello, enemy is going to have context because we've left the procedure, and then display a message box with our new string in it. Okay, so that's by value and by reference. Hope you found it useful. In later tutorials we'll be using BYREF and by values in some practical examples, so you can see the benefits. Obviously the obvious ones are, if you don't want to corrupt some existing data, you pass things by value. However, if you want to pass something that's going to get updated in real time, the original value that is, then you will pass it by reference. Okay, anyway, until next time, ta-da.